Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your favorite host and MC, that guy, Ronnel Blackman. I'm over here with Justin Carter with the Pivot Mindset Podcast. I'm also with Ryan Blackman, a.k.a. Mello, Too Cool. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing, bringing them in.
Me.
Yes, the Red Rock. Come on. The Red Rock. The Red Rock is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, a.k.a. QDO. Quenton Daniel Owens in the building.
All three names.
Hey, got to give it to you all, man. Hey, talk about like just them opportunities. Let me go and bring the music down. Yeah, but talking about those different opportunities that, people have in their life, which, to share, to show that you care about another individual, to, kind of vet the people that are in their circle, or just develop a circle, right? We've had that opportunity, and I first want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you guys for being here. They all traveled to come down here to celebrate my 40th birthday party.
My guy.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Happy 40th.
Happy
Man. Man, when I'm talking about like,
You getting old.
hey, that's the goal. The goal is to get old.
Yes,
Zero
sir.
dark
The goal is to
forty.
get old.
The goal is to get old.
The goal is to get old. But no, y'all took time out, brought your families, brought yourselves, and, really made it the perfect opportunity to celebrate, the life, right? The impact, the story. And, we've been having dialogue every single day.
Facts.
Yeah. And
Facts.
every time we talk, we're like, yo, why didn't we?
This need to be on the pod.
It need to be on the podcast. Like we needed to hit record, whether it's on a Pivot Podcast
Facts.
or on a Holla Black. Like, we are Holla Black, brave leaders accountable to communicating knowledge. And let's just dive in and communicate. Now, Justin, you were talking about a dope idea, or should I say concept, about your circles.
Yeah.
The circle of individuals that you have, around you that are, pouring into your life. Like talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, for everybody that may be listening that may not know who I am a business coach as well as a mindset coach, and I work with entrepreneurs and individuals and really helping them to scale whatever it is they're trying to do and really level up in life. And what I found, man, is like through actual research, right? Like through like working with people, it's like, yo, you don't go as far as your dream. You go as far as your team. And, when I realized like the stuff that's holding people back, they may have their own like personal challenges with like trying to overcome negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, all that kind of stuff. But like most of the other challenges is the people that's on their team. It's their circle. You know what I'm saying? It's their spouse. It's their mother. It's their childhood friend that just like won't let them like take that next step because they feel like they're going to separate themselves from that person. Right. It's like, yo, your circle is literally the thing that could either like catapult you into that next level, or it can, and it inevitably typically is the thing that holds a lot of people back. And so, man, I think no better topic to discuss in this episode is like, yo, how to like really choose your team and like, what your team is constructed about. And like when it comes to people that really make significant leaps in their lives, what kind of teams do they have? Like,
you're right.
Like, what do they got? How did they do that?
What's the conversations? What's the discussions? What are the levels of discerning the level of, the baseline?
Facts. Yeah.
Right? Like what's the expectations that we all should have, right? Speaking of expecting, I got this big red rock over here expecting another addition to the family.
Yep, sir.
Wow, man. Okay, so talking about the circle, man, share with us exactly like your thoughts about, kind of that your circle, creating a circle and vetting them out.
So one of the things that I really, really think about is how that particular person is going to fit within my family. Because if you're not going to fit within my family, you can't be a part of my circle, right? Wow. So I look at my friends as family. Like a lot of, because you can't be my friend without being close enough to be considered like family. So I don't, the whole no new friends. We don't do that. Right?
Circle is small.
Circle is small. Right? Exactly. I mean, I got like 5 or 6 people that I consider as family. Obviously, Ronnel, me and you've been rocking together for years. Years. And it's not anything that I couldn't say that I needed, that I couldn't talk to you about or have you, help me in any way, form, or fashion. I vet my circles based upon what I can do for them, not what they can do for me. Because if I'm waiting for somebody to do something for me, I'll be waiting forever. So I don't look at that. I don't need anything from anybody else. I'm trying to figure out how I can help you be better. And in turn, I feel like it's going to be reciprocated.
It's reciprocal.
It is. It is. Now, Mello, a.k.a. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Like, man, you got circles, bro.
Mello.
You have, like, you had circles developed in Akron. We're all from Akron, Ohio.
Hey,
right?
we're honored just to have him on.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, did you send the wire? Did you send the wire?
No.
All right, I just want to make sure he good.
They said he lived in L.A., Little Akron.
L.A. Both caps. No, but I mean, then you created a circle down here in Atlanta,
right?
And then moving out to L.A., found yourself with another group of friends and whatnot. Like, tell us about a little bit of your experiences, good and possibly bad, right? Of having, the importance of having that right circle.
Right. So I think for me, when I started my journey into adulthood after high school, I moved out of Akron within a year after graduating high school, and
Akron, Ohio, for anybody that's not.
Akron, Ohio.
The AK, you know what I'm saying? The 330.
AK Ron.
AK Ron. You know what I'm saying?
Inner city, small city, but for me at that time in my life, I kind of just knew that there was something more for me along my journey. I knew that there was something bigger and better that I wanted to achieve in life and that I wanted to experience and see outside of where we're from, right? And a lot of my friends at that time, they weren't, looking to do that. They didn't have that type of vision of anything outside of where we're from. And, honestly, I don't really know what drove me to kind of like separate myself from certain people, but all I knew is that I was destined for something bigger and better than where we're from.
Man, you know what? You just said something. You said something because the question was asked to me, when making decisions. It was asked me in a prior conversation. When making decisions and taking like pivots, right? Making pivots in relationships, friendships, and whatnot, like to be able to level up. And like, how do you know when it's your time to, change that group that's surrounding that environment, right?
Yeah.
I got some tips.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, one big reason, one big thing you should look at is, are you the one that makes the most money in your circle? Right? Or, right? Like, if you're the, not a lot of people talk about it, right? Like if you're the one that is giving all the game in your circle, you're in the wrong circle.
Never be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, never be the smartest person. Like, bro, some people's circles, circles have turned into masterminds.
Okay, hold on, because we were talking about this the other day. Like masterminds, like really give a good explanation of what a because I've seen Oprah's mastermind classes. I've seen a bunch of different coaching mastermind aspects. So that term is used. Right, a little loosely, and I don't know the real meaning of mastermind.
Your circle should be a mastermind. So what a mastermind is it's the ability to pull groups of people together that are all killing it in different respective areas. And it's being able to bring that talent pool and those resources together to move in a common cause. Right. So like we might be we may have different businesses, or we may have businesses that are in the same lanes, but we might be operating in different geographics or different regions or in different like niches. And so it's like, yo, I'm tired of just hanging around with people that only make X amount of money. Right. How do I get with the people that make what I make, right? Or make more than what I make? And it's masterminds that you're able to do that in. And so to me, your circle should feel like a mastermind. Like your circle shouldn't feel like a mentorship. You shouldn't feel like that you're the one pouring into everybody in your circle. You should have people in your circle that can give you game, that can help solve your problems. If your circle isn't able to help solve your problems, like you're in a mentorship and not in a mastermind. And so you got to check your circle to say like, yo, am I in a mentorship or am I in a mastermind? If you're in a mentorship, they call you, hey, bro, I need your help. Could you send me some money? Could you help me walk through this? And like, you don't want pouring out to everybody. But like, who pours your cup? Who fills you up? And so that's the piece of the mastermind is like everybody's killing it in their own respective lanes, and they bring that to the collective. And so now we can help like leverage each other, right? And it's like, yo, where you struggling with? Okay, actually, I got a dude that does that. You know, I got somebody that actually has a business doing that. Let me plug and connect you in, and we good. And so it's like we're now problem solving for each other and not like just trying to get game and soak up for each other. And I think that's a big piece, man, because to your point, when you start to level up, your what was a mastermind could turn into a mentorship. So it may have served you in a season. In a season, y'all were all boys. Y'all were good. Y'all were all the same thinking, same level, same doing, blah, 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 blah. But like now, now you're serving that person more than they're serving you. And so when the relationships become unsymbiotic, that's when it starts to get a little iffy.
Right.
And so I think that's the importance piece, right? So when we talk about circle, it's important that we dictate and understand like the difference. And I'm not saying that you can't have those. I'm not saying that like you can't have, you know, like people that you're in different statuses and different classes and that you only can have people around you that make the same money and doing this. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying is that like, cause for example, you could have a boy that makes less money than you, but like he's phenomenal with his children. And you like, bro, I suck at being a parent. Right. And he giving you game on like, bro, this is how you balance. This is how you like engage your child. Right. It could be like, yo, I suck with being a husband, but like, yo, just cause I make more money than you don't mean like I can't get game from you on how to be a better husband or like how to be better in my community. Right. Right. So it's like, it's less about like everybody making the same money or whatever that is, but it's more about, yo, is this a symbiotic relationship? Right. And that's the piece, man. Like that's the difference.
Now, Q, I'm thinking about you because you're still in Akron, right? Justin as well. And, you know, you have a core group that I, you know, kind of got a chance to really get more involved with back in Akron, right? Like how is it that, you know, you all are able to, you know, kind of move the needle forward or like really have conversations? Like, is it organic or is it something like super intentional?
Right. Well, you know, I think it almost has to always be organic because your organic can turn intentional if it needs to be. I'm of the mindset also, I have like concentric rings. You know, there's only going to be so many spaces on certain circles. The circle that's closest to me is going to be different than the circle that's farthest away.
Bro, you got to break that down. He said concentric rings.
He said concentric rings. Like,
hey,
we in the C's or in the K's? I don't know. You said something earlier, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna Google that. We're gonna go ahead.
The closer you get to me, the smaller that circle gets.
Okay.
Because I have a huge circle. Yeah. And there's a lot of people on my circle, but right next to me, there's a few people that's right next to me. You know what I mean? And it's those people are who I talk to about personal stuff that help me move forward personally. Okay. On a personal level. Now on the outside, I might have some other people in my circle that are helping me move forward in a professional manner, but I can't talk to them about the personal stuff because my circle, I'm closed off in that regard. So I'm able to separate those aspects of it. So the people that are on my inner ring, I can talk to most of those people about business, about how I'm going to move forward. But I can also talk to them about my personal life and help me get better. Right. Nobody in my inner circle was a yes man. Everybody, like the king of the no for me has always been Ronnel. It's always been Ronnel because I call him when I don't want. When
the king of no.
Right.
The king of no.
You the king of the no.
Right. When I need to know that I'm messing up, make sure I check myself.
Accountability.
The first person I call, I call Ronnel.
Yeah.
Because Ronnel gonna say, hey,
you tripping.
Yo, you tripping, bro. Right. This is what you should be doing. You're not doing what you should be doing. This is where you need to go. Yep. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. I might not do it right then. Later on, I'm gonna do it and I ain't gonna tell him I did it, but like, yo, man, I ain't tell him I did that. But you know, I did it because I talked to him and he gave me a perspective that I wasn't necessarily trying to hear, but what I needed to hear. So that is a reason why my circle pushes me forward, because they are gonna listen to me and tell me what I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Now I got a question. Has anybody else ever had like a yes man in your group, in your circle, and like that you had to kind of feel accountable to and say, hey, I'm not just going to let you go ahead and, you know, make these bad decisions.
Yeah.
Right? I gotta put my foot down.
Right.
And make this correction.
Yeah. No, I definitely, but the thing about the yes men is I think it's double-sided. So I know what it is to have a yes man that I thought was a peer, and I know what it is to have a yes man that is a mentee.
Got it.
I need my mentees to be yes men.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I can dig that.
Right.
I need my mentees to be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna actually go ahead and do what you said. Though it might feel a little uncomfortable, like trust me, bro. Like go move in this.
I agree.
I got you back. I got your back.
agree.
Yeah.
So like I've had those kind of, so I haven't had yes men that are more peers. I've had yes men that were like more mentees, and that's what I expected of them. It's like, yo, when you commit to working, you know what I'm saying, and like building relationship and like me pouring into you, it's the trust that like, yo, the stuff that I'm telling you that like it's in wisdom, you know, it's in sound advice.
Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Right.
And like moving in it.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's interesting because I'm thinking about it even like from a personal level, but also from a business perspective, right? It's like, hey, I need you to understand that the vision, that the goal that we have is achievable. I don't need you to buck. I don't need you to ask questions. I don't need you to, you know, kind of get frustrated when I give you direction. I need you to just, when I point, I need you to just shoot.
Yep.
Right.
I need you to pull the trigger. Yeah.
But in your business, you need advisors also.
Oh, most
The
definitely.
ones that's going to advise those decisions also, that you can't make your advisors your mentees. You know what I mean? You have to listen to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
and you know, and bro,
Speak
this
that.
is that's powerful because I think a lot of people get so much like self encouragement from the yes men, right? Because it's
Feels
like
good.
they validate you.
It feels good.
They tell, man, that's so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing that they have no idea what they're talking about, right? And it's like it's not
And
easy.
And if times get rough, they're not there for you.
They can't cut the check.
They can't help you.
Yeah, they
Nah,
can't help you.
Not at all.
They
They
can't
can't
help
help you.
So, I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, just recognizing who plays what role. Who plays what role, right? And so when you're looking at your circle, for instance, like we're talking about, you know, like the professional aspect, but then also the personal aspect, right? Like, I'm not going to talk to a single man about how my wife and how my kid,
Facts.
like we're not going to have, you know, a marriage
Right.
consultation moment.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Right?
We ain't
Hey,
doing that.
bro, like, sometimes I feel like being in them streets, and then they be like,
Like, what you should think I should do in my marriage?
right? What you think? They're like, bro, I ain't married, so I mean, like, hey, if you feel like being in the streets, be in the streets. Be like, whoa, hold on, you in my circle?
Right.
Hold on, you in my circle?
Yeah.
Mello, man, you said a lot about, you know, your transition from, you know, different areas and different things and wanting to grow yourself, right? Wanting more out of yourself. I see the shirt right there.
Yeah.
More than me.
More
Come
than
on.
me. Yes, sir.
Established
Yes, sir.
2011. I had to give it a little quick plug.
Hey, more than me.
Business. More than me. It's more than you. Like, talk about your circle and the purpose, right? Like, so how your circle can help you fulfill your purpose.
Well, I think for me is always having someone that's positive, right? Even when it's constructive,
Right.
you know, feedback,
energy.
even if it's, you know, advice, or even if it's, you know, calling big bro and saying, hey man, you know, yeah, you may have slipped up here, but this is how you can turn it around. You know what I
I
mean?
know it's
And-
not negative all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't thrive well around negative energy, around negative people. So just making sure that the people that I have in my circle are positive, and they're giving me that positive advice or that positive suggestion, or, you know, positive feedback for anything that I may be pursuing or maybe looking to do, or you know, maybe through mistakes that I've made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a big impact in my life, you know, with my inner circle. Like, you know, long as they're positive with me, you know, sharing some light on their experiences, you know, helps me gain that knowledge and, you know, moving forward.
Right.
And it's like the positive. What I've learned, man, is like what positive is not necessarily that they always agree with what I'm doing or what I'm
Right.
thinking, but that they have a solution to it.
Right.
There you go.
Like there's so many people that will like
Right.
they'll shoot down the stuff
Right.
without a solution.
Right.
They'll talk about what you're trying to do without something better.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
no, absolutely.
if you're gonna shoot, and this is something that I think I don't know where I learned this. It was either football. There was somewhere where I learned this, where it was like, yo, if you have feedback, don't contribute without a solution.
Right.
Right? It was like, if you've got critical feedback, you also have to bring a solution with the feedback.
Right.
So if it's like, yo, you're struggling in this area, it's like, okay, what should you do as a result? And that thing being based in actual, like, factual data, proven. It's not just conjecture. It's not just like, oh, I think this could possibly work for you better. It was like, no, well, based on what you're saying, I think this would be a better option, because I've got experience in it, or because of people that I've seen do this thing, and like this is it's a way that you can move. And so to me, it's like positivity isn't necessarily just somebody being a yes man, but positivity is like, yo, I see where you're going. Let's tweak that a little bit. And here's like something that you might want to think about instead.
Right. And that's why you have to choose who's in that circle very carefully, because I can't have someone in the circle that doesn't know more than me telling me what I can do. You know what I mean? Right. And that's not a positive thing, because you're taking it from a standpoint of I think versus I know. You know, don't tell me what's better if you think it. You have to know it, because if you know it and you tell me, I'm going to receive that and I'm going to take it in advice, and I'm going to move forward based off that. But if you think that,
well, because I'm looking at you as a subject matter expert.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm looking at you as like, yo, hey, you've been in the game. You got skin in the game.
Facts.
Right.
Like there's no guessing of, man, you read this somewhere, or there was an article or a journal or something. Like, hey, send me the link, okay, and I'll make the decision myself, right? But like, you're not going to tell me, you know, how to raise my kids, or what you wouldn't do, or what you would allow them to do if you don't have kids.
Facts. Right. And you know the crazy part about that's real. That's so real. And this is the piece where it's like that kind of stuff rubs off, right? And so like I know for without a shadow of a doubt, like you can't hang around me a lot and not make six figures.
You can't.
It's just not possible. Like just by osmosis, you won't. There's no way that you can literally like hang around me and like it not be like, ooh, I got a great. Like I can do this and I can move in this way. Yeah. Right. So it's like, and that's it's not just with finances.
And we feed each other.
Yeah. Like, we feed each other. Yeah. Right. And so it's like, yo, like, no, I have no doubt that like nobody can hang around you weekly and not be successful. It's just not like, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
Because
you wouldn't even let someone that couldn't be successful around you.
Facts.
Like that person can't be in your circle because if they can't match you, they're holding you down.
Bruh.
And you got to put those boundaries up. And, you know, I would say it more so not just for you, but for the other people around you, right? You don't want them to be impacted by them and by that negativity or by that like level of unsuccessfulness or that like discouragement, distractions. You don't want them to be, you know, knocked off their game because you brought this person in. That wasn't.
And what I realized too is like it's not even about brilliance, right? Like I think sometimes we can over romanticize what success looks like, and that people that are successful in whatever way that you define success, that was because they were one of 1,000, or because they had a lucky bet, or because something happened for them that couldn't happen for other people. It's like what to me, being connected with people that are really striving and moving is you realize like, yo, if he can do it, I can do it. Yeah. It's not even saying that you have to, like covet what you've got or what you've built, right? You're in a beautiful house. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a beautiful family. I don't have to covet your house. I don't have to covet what you've got. Though it's beautiful, it can inspire me to say, man, like if he can do it, bet I can do it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not a negative. Sometimes that can come across as a negative. Like I'm not in competition with him as to be a one up to him.
Facts.
When he does something nice, I want to have something just as nice. It's not because I want to be better than him. Correct. Now, if my stuff ends up better than him, then it just ends up better than him. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It's not my goal. My goal is not to one up you. My goal is to be as successful, if not more successful, because I'm going to make you more successful in the
and it's proximity. Like
absolutely.
That's what it comes down to, is like it's proximity. Sometimes the reason why you haven't like jumped to that next level is because you haven't had proximity to what actually is important to that next level. If I just hang around your house, I can know, oh shoot, like this is what life looks like for them. It's like, okay, he's moving, he's going. Like I know your habits, the lifestyle that you live based on what I see in your schedule. Correct. Right. So like every time I come home, like if I come home and I'm just if I'm just checking your security cameras around the house, it's like, okay, he's going throughout the day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shoot, he's doing flights. If I check your itineraries, like, okay, he's flying, he's home. You know, I check his schedule. Okay, I see what he's doing with the kids. I see what he has as a result when it comes to like the fruit of his labor. I see the cars in the driveway. Okay, like I see, you know, like the apparel he's wearing. I see like you can get clues on how you should move based on the proximity. Correct. And so sometimes when you don't have that level of proximity, you don't know how to move. And so like when it comes to identity, you don't know like, oh shoot, like, You don't get weekends off if you want to be at this level.
No, you don't.
And so
Not
you
all.
might buy into the fact that like, oh shoot, like I'm supposed to just work Monday through Friday, do my 40 hours and just chill. And then like you see somebody that's in these, you see people that's like in your neighborhood or see people that's like at that next level. And they're like, yeah, you bought into the dream that we get weekends off? Nah, we don't do that.
Nope.
That's not who we are. We like.
You actually pay for weekends.
Come on. Come on.
You actually have to pay for the weekends. Like if you're not getting paid on the weekends,
Come on.
if I'm not working on the weekends, I'm
Yeah.
paying for that time off.
Bruh. Crazy. And you know the crazy part about that, right, is like if you could find a way to work on the weekends, you get 100 days back. 100 days. So if I just work Monday through Friday and I'm like, yeah, Saturday and Sunday, it's off. Bruh, I got 100 days over you in 1 year.
Wow.
You just gave me 100 days
Come on.
that I have to like, and again, it's not a grind hustle culture.
Correct.
It's like, man, I found the thing that I'm extremely passionate about. And so if we both in our passion, but you only doing it for 5 and I'm doing it for 7, I got 100 days over you this year. And so, yeah, we might be equally motivated, equally inspired, equally like talented, but bro, I just happen to get 100 days over you.
I got more time.
Bro, I just got more time.
Which you can't get back.
Right.
I just got more time. And so that's the piece where it's like proximity, when you start to see that, like, oh, okay, like they work on weekends. Okay, what do they do on the weekends? Okay, they don't trade hours for dollars. They actually trade value in exchange for value back. Like they give something. They actually get in the problem-solving business. Oh, he lives in that kind of house because he solves that kind of house's problems. You know, the people whose problems you solve also lives in those kind of houses. They have big problems that they need to solve. They're raising hundreds, if not millions of dollars.
Correct.
Right? So it's like when you find a way, like, okay, if I think about it, I could solve problems at a lower level and live in you all solving problems. I could solve problems at a lower level and have a lower status. And I could solve problems at a higher level and have a higher status. And so it's that proximity where you see like, okay, I see how they're moving now. I see that, okay, like the kids are in this kind of school. I see like, are these two income households or these one income households? Do these people have degrees or not? How many hours a week do these people work? Do they take travel? Do they take vacations? Like what kind of vacation? Like it's proximity.
Yeah.
And I think so many of us, we lack that. Like we lack the proximity of where you want to go next.
Correct.
And so you like spin your wheels and where you are now. And it's like, yo, if you realize that if somebody said, hey, like you're doing everything right, but you just keep taking Saturdays off. I don't take Saturdays off. If you continue to do what you do, but work on Saturdays, you good, bro. Sometimes but you just want to never know because you didn't have proximity.
Right.
You know, and so I think proximity is so important when it comes to circle, especially when it's like, yo, we're trying to level up our circle. And that's the piece where the group impacts the main, like if now, so we're in a group, right? And if Q decides to get proximity at another level, and then Q brings that proximity back, and like, yo, I met these rich people.
Right.
And they had billions.
Right.
And like, this is how they moved. And this is how we need to move.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like bet Q, like appreciate. So it's like now my circle, I can't be the only one going and get data and bringing it back to my group.
Right.
And like, so it's like, that's the power of this. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got to pour in.
Everybody got poured in.
It's interesting because I would love, no, it's the conversation. It's the glass. It's okay. It just happens, right? But like, no. So part of the things that, you know, not only the proximity of things, but also I'm looking at the vision aspect, right? Like when you have a circle, you have to be able to, as my boy Jay Bates would say, pontificate. Right? You have to be able to pontificate. You have to be able to have that mastermind group, right? To bounce ideas off of, to throw things at the board and be like, yo, like what you think about this? Like I've seen this opportunity, I've seen that. If not me, then who? If not now, then when?
Come on.
If we don't bring that type of attitude to our circles,
Come on.
right? How valuable are we truly being to that group, right?
Yeah.
Like personal and professional.
Right.
I'm not just talking about professionally. I'm talking about also personally. Like if I'm telling you, in order for you to level up, you got to get married. You got to create that family.
Bro.
Here we go.
Hey, you going there.
You got to make those decisions, those lifelong decisions that will establish you and position you.
You going there.
To be able to take on more.
Do more. Be more.
Be more.
You got to be more.
You gotta be more. Right? Like you have to be seen as a value add. Like it's interesting, right? Because before I got married, right, I was chasing after women, right? I'm going everywhere. I'm like, hey, we going to the mall, we going to the club, we going to the bar. Where we going, right?
Yeah.
Type thing. And as soon as I got married, I stopped looking for them, but they were
flocking,
gravitating. I mean, like coming to me, and I'm like, no, hey, I don't know how to handle this. I'm used to going to you, not you coming to me. So now it's like, hey, let me call my boys, help me out. What do I do? I don't know what to do. They're like, run. They're like, go as fast as you can. But it's that different to what you're saying, right? It's that different proximity. It's that difference in vision. It's that difference in value that now you add. And now you're seen as a value. More value.
And then think about this. Every person that you bring into your circle, they have their own circle. And how will it be when those circles interconnect? Because it's eventually gonna overlap.
They're overlap, yes.
Right. And you have to look at the people that they're running with and know who there is in their circles to see if they're bringing value to that person, because it trickles down and it trickles up also. So it's one of those things where those circles have to be able to be compatible. I can't bring somebody in my circle that like I got people that was in my circle before that got drug dealers and stuff like that in a circle. I can't have you in my inner circle. I can't have you in any of my circles because that's bringing it to me. Facts. You know what I mean? So you have to vet that out also. And if you got billionaires in your circle, you can come into my circle. Billionaire, come into my circle because that's the person that I want to be.
Yeah, that's the direction we're going. Go ahead.
We all got to lead by example.
Absolutely.
Everyone in your circle got to lead by example. I've never been the type that I can't really absorb or take in any knowledge from you if you don't have that experience, but you're trying to give me some gems that you don't even have the experience.
You don't even know.
So
you like you going off of something you heard or read. But it's like
winging it type.
And never get confused by experience versus expertise. Because there's people out there that have a lot of experience but have zero expertise. Wow. And there's people out there that they ain't been doing it very long. Like I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. My very first time ever working with patients, the smartest person in the room was an LPN. Right?
Okay.
And, people look at RNs, LPNs, and stuff like that, and they think that the smartest nurse I ever worked with was the LPN. And you want to know why? She's been doing it for 45 years.
Yeah,
she just decided never to go back because it didn't benefit her. So I'm sitting there learning all this stuff from this lady like, man, I'm all right, well, what I got to do here? How I do this, do that? And she giving me the game.
Right.
But technically, she's my subordinate. She's under me. I'm the supervisor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I went to school and got my degree and I'm a step ahead, but my expertise wasn't my experience.
Right.
Her experience was her expertise, and that's what made her a valuable asset to me when I first started doing what I was doing, So that's one thing that also you got to take in consideration is expertise versus experience.
So, and this is something that I think is so prevalent, especially in men today, is we often struggle with women in our circle. So you can build the most significant circle, right? You could have all the guys in your circle that's like helping you move the needle forward. And everybody's going for it, Everybody's shooting their shot. Everybody's taking the leaps to move their life significantly forward, right? But you got that girl that's very near and dear to you, that can hold you back in so many areas.
Ooh.
Yes.
I have seen so many men, successful men, talented, gifted, ready to take that next step, and have this woman be the hinge that literally holds them back from everything that they could accomplish. And so your team also is included in your romantic relationships.
Absolutely.
And so, like, when it comes to that, and, we talked, like you talked about the cheat code of a wife. I talk to my boy Brian about this all the time. If you could find a wife, you got a good wife, like, you got a cheat code.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even fair.
Absolutely.
You can run circles around like a single dude that's out here just trying to get it.
Yeah.
And so, but on the opposite end, if you mess around and bump yourself into the wrong chick, they can destroy your life forever.
Hello.
They could destroy everything that you worked hard to build.
Right.
And so I get it that we talk so much about what it is to build your circle and what it is to have people that are trying to level up. But now when we go back to these interpersonal relationships and the people that you're like that, you know, that you pouring seed into,
Correct.
and that's sleeping with you in the same bed, and that's, you know, that's having the pillow talk. That's got to be a vetted woman. That's got to be the right woman.
Man, talk about vetted. I mean, like that individual, that right woman. That's the difference between you taking a risk, right? Taking a chance, and you continuing to play it safe, right? And when I say play it safe, no knock against, you know, a, you know, normal 9 to 5, no knock against, you know, not playing it safe to me is not leveling up.
Okay.
Right. So either you're growing or you're
dying.
You're dying.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, playing it safe is dying.
The law of empathy.
Right.
You're either growing or you're dying.
And if you don't have that individual that's by your side, that's pillow talking, that's upping you, that's giving you that encouragement, that's pushing you forward, pushing you to do dangerous things.
Come
right?
on.
Like things that, but understanding that you realize and recognize the importance of the decisions that you have to make.
Right.
And the time that you have to spend in that. Right. If you don't have that right person there with you, that interpersonal relationship right there with you, then it can cause you to have all sorts of regrets, all sorts of negative feelings that grow, fester, and hinder even that relationship.
Right.
And you lose time.
The time piece.
Yep.
And chances make champions.
Come
If
on.
if you don't take that chance, you're never going to succeed.
Bro, if you don't shoot your shot,
Come on.
you'll never score.
Come on.
Absolutely.
You'll never score if you don't shoot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when we just watched the finals, right? We just watched the finals and everything. You see Steph Curry take shots that you'd be like, no way anybody should be taking.
Right.
Like you just missed 10.
But he's confident.
Like man.
Even when he missed 10, he's still confident
You know,
on number
gotta
11.
take that shot.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like when you think about like what that looks like for men today, right? Like, and we know what this is like because we've all been there. The chick that's fun ain't the chick that's family.
Right. No, you're right.
You know, and like, bruh,
Yeah.
she might look the part.
Yeah.
You know, she could go out with you.
Yeah.
She'll turn up with you. She'll do whatever it is that you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But when it comes to really building something, and when it comes to when the rubber hit the road and you need somebody that's like, yo, babe, like you got this. I know you failed 3 times, but like I believe you can do it the 4th.
Right.
I know you failed 6 times, but I trust that the 7th is you're right on the opposite side of the 7th.
Yep.
And so like what it is to like have the chicks, like we can, and so this is the piece where it's like, you could delineate the difference between having fun with a chick and having family with a chick. And often it's hard to determine the difference because we sometimes fall in love with the fun chick.
Oh yeah.
We fall in love with the chick that's like, yo, she down for any and everything.
Man.
But can I build legacy with this? Right. What can I is this chick going to be, so the Bible talks about men and it says in our younger years, we are to devour. I think it's in Isaiah. In our younger years, we are to devour. In our older years, we are to divide. Devour and divide.
Wow.
In my younger years, I've got to devour everything.
That's what we've been taught.
I got to devour everything.
Yep.
Opportunities, it's mine. Going after it.
Yep.
There's nothing stopping me. Right. But in my older years, because I devoured so much, I can now divide.
Yeah.
And so if you find a chick that's your challenge, she's holding you back from devouring, you'll never get to the place to truly have enough to divide. And often, like I see that, man, like where in this day and age, in this culture, right? It's like, yo, you know, it's the hot girl chicks, the city girl chicks, like, you know, they doing this, they got the, you know, they got the wigs, they got the lace fronts, they got the, you know,
They got it all.
They got it all, right? They got it all.
All manufactured.
Oh, yeah,
They got it. They got
Go
it.
see Dr. Miami.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go see my guy. Right?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, if that's what you choose to do, but just understand the results that come with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when it now, but now I'm struggling with devouring because at the point in which I now have to pull back, like this is fun for a while, but like fun gets real old real quick. Like I don't care how like talented you are and how much you love, to play basketball. Like after a while, you like, all right, bro, we gotta pack this ball up.
Right.
It's time to like do something else.
Right.
I don't care how much you love podcasting. After a while, it's like, all right, man, like let's wrap these cords up and let's get through our day. Same thing that happened to these chicks. And so for men that are out there, man, like I think we become so prey to our eyes and we become so prey to like our flesh and we fall victim of this stuff all the time.
Right.
And here's the piece to it, right? Is it becomes an ego trip. Where it's like, yo, but bro, she, you know what I'm saying? Like her on my wrist is something crazy.
Right.
When I walk,
it's fun.
It's fun. You know what I'm saying? Like she's submissive in that way. You know what I'm saying? She down for whatever. Yeah. And if I think of an idea, she like, yo, all right, how about we do that? Right. But when it comes down to it, man, like we realize that becomes unsustainable. And when it comes to really our circle, like I've seen that happen time and time again where like we find ourselves connecting to like, especially from a woman's standpoint, like connecting to the woman that's like not really good for our future. She good for like right now. She good for fun.
For our now, not for our
but
future.
She ain't good for future.
So she good for fun, not for family, not for future.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I think that's a piece, especially for men, that hold a lot of men back.
Absolutely.
Is like, yo, like we won't think long term.
Right.
Absolutely.
We won't think like, yo, what's gonna happen in our 40s and 50s?
Hold on, because Q said something earlier about that, and we were having that conversation, and you talked about fear, right? And is it that there's some fear involved, right, with having to get to a point of division,
Okay.
right? There's a fear of I'm losing my youth, right? If I don't continue to devour, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
am I positioned and am I growing? Am I maturing, or am I just having fun? Because oftentimes fun, you can get into a level of comfort,
Yeah. Hands
right?
down.
You can get
Hands
into a
down.
level of comfort where fun is the standard.
Right.
You're complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. To where now it's like, hey, family, ooh, that sounds a little bit too hard. I'm fearful. I don't even know if I can adapt or change to that. Matter of fact, let me bring some of my past excuses. I don't have, the father that led me to lead my family that way.
Right.
I'm fearful. Am I going to be that way?
That's real.
I haven't seen those role models in my life, right? I've seen black men, I've seen men, period, just fail in that aspect. I don't want to fail too.
Yeah.
Right.
So do I make those decisions that can take me to the next level, right? Even though I know they can't. So almost a self-sabotage.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's like, yo, do I risk that?
Right. No, that's real.
If you're not willing to risk failure, then you're not willing to succeed.
Right.
Quote that my godfather just recently passed, Jim Sheely, told me long time ago, and it stuck with me since.
Wow.
It stuck with me. It stuck
Yeah.
with me.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, to whom much is given, much is required. Another one,
Pops.
right?
Let's go.
Pops.
Yeah.
Like he shared that with me all the time, which allowed for me to understand that there's importance behind my actions, my decisions, right? My words, my relationships, right? The level of giving, right? Am I open-handed with giving information, giving funds, giving, whatever I have, right? Or am I being closed fist?
Come on.
Right.
Am I holding on to, what I'm comfortable with, what I know? Right. Or am I growing and developing myself because more is required of me? If I have more, if I'm being more,
Be more.
if I'm being more and I have more, now more is being required of me and I've been given already. That's the trick, right? We don't believe it. We don't understand it. We don't know it. I've been given that strength, that capacity to be able to go to that next level.
For sure. Yeah. Seek ye first the kingdom of God.
Bro, we quoting scriptures. Come on.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all of these things will be added on to you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Those two things. The kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all the things will be added onto you. It's such a powerful, when it comes to being, it's like, when it comes to seeking ye first, not the money, not the women, not the success, not the fame, not the notoriety. that all those things come in seeking first the kingdom of God. What is the kingdom of God? The kingdom of God is truly understanding your purpose, your plan, and your destiny here on earth, how you were placed and why you were placed on earth. Here's the crazy part about it, right? It's like in all of God's infinite wisdom, you were placed here unique and distinct with a purpose. God is not a God of accidents. You are not here just to fill the earth.
Correct.
There is a purpose and a reason that you are placed here specifically. All of us have a purpose, a destiny, and a reason exactly why we were here. If we did not, we would not be here. All of us are moving forward the kingdom of God.
Correct.
And so if I learn how to seek that thing first, right? Like seek my purpose first, seek the thing that I was placed on earth to be first, every single thing that I want will be added. Whatever your preference is, whatever your type is, bro, that's coming. But it's not going to come in the proper place outside of your purpose. But what we try to do is we try to like reverse engineer it. We try to like, all right, cool, let me add all the stuff. And if I could do more, then I could finally have more. And once I finally have more, then I could finally be more. That's like that like flawed thinking. That's the conventional thinking. Like, oh, let me do more. Once I finally do more, then I'll have more. And once I finally have more, then I'll finally be the kind of person that can substantiate the success, the notoriety, whatever it is that I want to accomplish. But it's like, yo, it has nothing to do with what you do.
Bruh.
It has everything to do with what you become and
When you
who
said
you are.
conventional thinking, conventional thinking has held back more than anything else. I talk to Ronnel about this all the time. We were always taught, you go to work for 40 hours a week. You get a good job with the government.
Yep.
You do this. You make your
$50,000
a year. You retire when you're 65.
You get a good job at Chrysler.
Right, at Chrysler. Right.
Or Ford.
So one of the most eye-opening moments I ever had in my whole life, my dad was dying from cancer. He worked for Goodyear for 43 years. And he looked at me and said, don't be like me. I mean, me and him had a conversation. He said, don't be like me. I had this opportunity, and I passed it up.
Yeah.
He worked for 43 years for Goodyear.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, I made more money than he did.
Wow.
And, you know, and that
Giving up
actually
43 years of your life.
that hurt my heart. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking at it like, yo, I'm making more money than he been there for 43 years.
Right.
Now, what I can say is that 43 years there did set him up because of some wise investment. Remember we talking about who your spouse is?
Correct.
My dad hustled his butt off working every day of the week.
Right.
If it was at work or if it's at home, he was working.
Right.
My mom was the money manager. She spent she'd take a penny and knock a nickel out of it. You know what I mean?
Bro,
And
the circle.
They had that
spouse.
My
The
mom
spouse.
was my
Personal.
dad's opposite of when it came to like planning and money and stuff like that.
Right.
She just made it happen.
She divided.
Her circle.
He devoured, she divided.
His,
Come on.
his circle had who it needed to be in there.
Yep.
You know, so we can't always look at what the person brings to the table in a financial aspect.
For sure.
We have to think about what they bring to you in the aspect of like, oh, I can actually help you manage who you are.
Facts. And that's the piece.
Right.
That's the piece when it comes to spouse
Yeah.
and spousal selection. It's like most men that I know,
Yes.
and I don't want to talk for everybody collectively,
No.
but most men that I know are looking for somebody that can divide. They're not looking for somebody to devour. Now, again, that could be me. That could be my thinking. But like, I don't want my chick going out here and like fighting for resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my chick that is not my desire to have my girl, my wife, my spouse
right.
out here going to compete for resources, going in here to compete for promotions, compete for like, yeah, if that's what she wants to do and that's what like literally fills her and that's what she's passionate about and like that's what fires her up, sure. But it's gotta be on that level. It's gotta be, but I don't want my chick like out of scarcity mind, like, man, I gotta work 50, 60 hours to put food on the table. Like, bro, that's not
Out of
what I want.
stability. Out of stability.
Out of stability. What I need my wife to do is to devour or to divide the things that I'm devouring. You know, and we work this thing as a team. And so, and this is the kind of the weird part that's starting to, you know, come up in our culture today is, and I'm all for woman empowerment. You know, I'm all for. I've got a daughter. You know, I've got obviously a wife. I was raised with strong women, strong black women. I was raised by a single mom, right? I know what it is for a woman to go out and compete for resources.
Same.
But I don't think that is the design for women today. Right. Women don't have that same broadness and ability to hold the pressure on the shoulders that men do. And so I think often when it comes to like us, like, you know, which is an important piece of our circle, right? Which is the woman that we attract and the woman that we bring into our lives, is that like, yo, like you've got to be able to be in a position that you're devouring. And then once you finally start devouring, now you can bring a chick in to help you divide this thing, right? And so
She gives you balance.
she's because like you said, your dad, like you said, your dad, like he was devouring. He worked 43 years at Goodyear, and like had it not been for your wife being able to turn, you know, a penny into a nickel, like, and being able to like literally, like, okay, cool, we gonna divide this, we gonna do this, like, he might have not had the same result.
Right. No,
had he been a single man, he might have not had the same result.
Absolutely. You know, it's crazy because I think about a past podcast that you had and you talked about balance, right? And success is not balance.
Doesn't exist.
Success is not balance, right? And I say that in the manner of like, for the man, he can't be balanced with his time and finances, right? One has to outweigh the other.
Yeah.
But where balance comes is when you have that spouse.
Come on.
That's the opposite.
That can be your balance.
That can be your balance, right? Create that balance to where there's nothing missing.
Yeah, that's like the two-sided coin, right? Like if we got a Democrat, we got to have a Republican.
Right.
If we got a hot, we got to have a cold. If we got a north, we got to have a south. If we got a heads, we got to have a tails. Like you can be, I got to fully be heads, but my wife has to fully be tails. I can't be trying to teach her how to be heads, and she can't try to teach me how to be tails.
Right.
We've got to be the fullness, and we together make up the coin.
Correct.
So think about this. When that coin is heads up, the tail is holding that coin up. That's the one that's grounded. That's grounded to the. That's grounded.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Don't drop the mic. Don't drop the mic. Don't drop the mic.
Man.
But think about that though.
No, that's legit.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's legit.
Yeah.
Like the polar opposites are needed.
Right.
Are necessary.
And it's not easy. I will say that it's not easy, man.
Oh no.
Like, that was these are some of the hardest things that I like for me, and I've said this
They're
before.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like being a husband is the hardest job I've ever had in my life. Hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Facts.
Because this is the first time that I commit to opposite being okay. And the first time that I commit to saying like, I don't think that way, but like we've got to move in that, and like you do you, I do me, and like we collectively bring our consciousness into our marriage. You're whole, I'm whole, we bring our wholeness together in our marriage. That was the, like in any other space, right? It's I'm the dictator.
Yep.
This is my shot. I take the shot.
Absolutely.
Right? And so you got somebody that's like, yo, I'm going to take the shot here. And somebody's like, yo, it's time to pass. And in a marriage, which is different, is like now you got to find some consensus to come to. And maybe, and this is again, I've got sometimes some dividing thoughts, right? But like,
same.
I am a benevolent dictator, right? So for me, and what that means to the audience is that I am a dictator of my house. I called the last shot.
Okay.
My wife does provide insight.
Correct.
I'm asking her to be my sous chef. I'm asking her, what do you see on your side? Here's what I'm thinking, but like, what do you see in your space? I'm thinking about this move, but like, what do you think about it? How may this affect the kids in a way that I don't know? How does this affect our family? How does this affect our finances maybe in a way that I'm not seeing it? And now I'm relying on her to give me feedback.
Correct.
I'm not relying on her to give me the answer.
Right.
The answer is here.
I still have to make it.
I am making the call.
Right.
I live with it. We live with it. And I'm making the call as the head of the house, like how we move. And but when it comes to that, right? Like there's sometimes differing in opinions and differing in like, hey, here's what I see. And so it's like the challenge can be like making that final call, making that final, because this is, bro, can be. That's what it is.
Yeah, because here's the piece to it, bro. Here's the piece. It's like everybody's not gonna like that final call.
That's what I said.
Your wife could be like, bro, you tripping.
Yeah.
But this is a part of her submission. And a part of my submission is to God. A part of my submission is, yo, I believe that I'm hearing properly. This is what thus saith the Lord. This is what God is calling us to do. This is the way and the direction that he's calling us to move. My submission is to him. Her submission is to me. Right? And so, but, right, like, I can't placate that submission and just be ego driven and just doing what I want to do.
No.
Right.
My call is like, okay, God, like that, and that's where the pressure comes, right? Like where much is given, much is required, right? And so the standard in which I live under now has me like, if I'm making the final shot, I also take the blame for when the shot is missed.
Right.
Absolutely.
Nobody's gonna come to my wife asking for resources. Bill collector ain't calling my wife's phone like, hey, we late on this payment. No. That ain't going to her phone. That's coming to my phone.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we got a doctor's bill or a hospital bill from taking a child to emergency, that's not coming in my wife's name. That's in my name.
It's in your name.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yo, like when it comes to being a benevolent dictatorship, I talked about what it is to also not having your spouse out here competing for resources. That's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not to down two income households. It's not to down that at all. But when it comes to being a benevolent dictator, the way that you can truly be fully a benevolent dictator is if you are also providing the resources. You're doing the devouring.
Correct.
If we're both devouring, we should be both dividing. If I'm doing all the devouring, I can make the call on my wife doing the dividing. And so so it's like and this again, we talking about circle. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about like what it is to have a good circle and what it is to divide and have your proper circle. And I just think that often, like when we talked about balance, like so many times we search for balance, but balance doesn't exist in all of nature, right? If you balance a scale, it's zero.
Right.
Nothing is balanced. It's either you have winter 100%. Right. You have summer 100%. Spring 100%. Fall. You don't have winter, summer, fall, and spring all in the same day. It doesn't exist.
Unless you live in Ohio.
Unless you live in Ohio, right?
Right. But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And one of the things is when you have that spouse that can divide for you, she doesn't have to come to you for every decision because she knows where you stand on that decision.
That's real.
Like I should be in a situation, your spouse should be chosen in the fact that she can actually make those hard decisions knowing what your desires are.
Yep.
Exactly.
She got the vision.
There's nothing that I can say that I was like, yo, my wife did this, and I'd be like, nah, she shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know? Because her thought process was, I know what he wants. I know how this
you
is gonna happen.
CEO, she COO.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Because she's not making
Absolutely.
decisions that I'm not in agreement with.
Facts.
So you have to have that. And again, it's talking about vetting the circle. It's like who you want in your circle.
Correct.
And can they make decisions that need to be made when need to be made.
And
I can't make every decision by myself. Like walk you through. You have to know what I know.
Absolutely.
You have to know how I feel. You have to know where I'm coming
What
from.
would he do in this predicament?
Right. Oh, he's going to do this. And if she make that mistake, then it's like, all right, look, I understand. That's what you thought I would do. This is why I didn't do it. So if that situation comes up again, let's not go about it in that manner. And then she knows now where I stand.
How we move.
And
Exactly.
And it allows you to now be a better coach.
Right.
Come on.
Right?
Yep.
Be a better coach to say, hey,
Coming from that
that was
position.
the wrong plan, the wrong play, right? That was the wrong move. Hey, let's make this adjustment.
Right.
Let's make these adjustments. It's halftime.
Yeah.
Let's make these adjustments and now correct the things. And now let's put this play in the game.
And then I have to listen also because when it don't work, I can't be like, well, I just made that mistake. I have to listen to her say, oh, yo, you messed up. This is how you did it. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I did.
Right.
I have to humble myself. Like, I made that mistake.
Right.
Accountability.
You made the call because of my
Facts.
decision.
Yep.
Facts.
But I have to own that decision.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So-
and then we move forward from there.
Yeah. So Mel,
Yeah.
I'm curious
Okay.
because you're the only one that's single in this room.
Single
Let's
man.
go. Let's go.
That's why I'm soaking up the game.
You know,
Yes, sir.
you the single one in this room, all right?
Let's do it.
When it comes to the dating market, right, and when it comes to vetting a woman, right, if she's a good fit for your program, and I'm using those words specifically, if she's a good fit for your program, what are some of those signs that you see early on to know if she's a good fit?
No, and before you answer that, what's going to know those things? What's going to keep you from blocking that out?
Starting with, you got to be a woman of faith. You know, that foundation has to be solid, planted. You know, that's within me. So I can't really, you know, operate, you know, with someone that's not, you know, in that, you know, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Family, not only just looking for a wife, looking for, someone that would, mother my next kid, be loving to my son.
Right.
But what does that look like though? Like what does that look like? Like what is that person found doing?
I guess just showing, different love and care,
Okay.
For the things that she has going in her life, family oriented, good relationships with her, parents, her family, you know what I mean?
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
huge because that's your backbone.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't expect her to treat you
Better
if
than she
can't-
treat her mom.
Right, exactly.
Better she treat her dad.
I bring her around my family, and seeing how she interacts.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing how the family, interacts with her, accepts her, and that type of thing. So yeah, I think those two, woman of faith, family oriented, that opens up the door for me.
Right.
And so for you, I'm curious, like what are your non-negotiables? Like what are the things that like, yo.
Hold on. Before you get to the non-negotiables.
Okay.
I want to add something. I want to give a observation.
Okay.
He didn't say resources.
He didn't say resources.
No, it wasn't mentioned one time.
Nothing to do with her career.
Nothing to do with her career.
Nothing to do with her
her
education.
finances.
Yeah.
Nothing
Right.
to do with what car she drove.
Right.
But
That's real.
I just wanted to.
Did you miss that? Did you mean it?
I didn't miss
That
it.
was intentional.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
intentional.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
was
wanted to
making
make
sure.
sure we heard that.
Wow.
Now go ahead. Ask
Wow.
that question. Ask that question.
He said nothing about resources.
Nothing about resources.
Yeah.
Because I got it.
Yeah.
Like I understand my position.
Wow.
Right.
Absolutely.
I understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Ain't that
Yeah.
the truth?
Right?
So what are
Go
those
ahead.
non-negotiables?
Non-negotiables. She can't cook.
You gotta be able to
You
cook.
gotta be able to cook.
She gotta be able to cook.
Hey,
Got
that's
to.
not a non-negotiable when you the cooking the family. So
Hey,
sometimes
yeah, cue the cook.
I'm not though. I'm not
See,
though.
okay, exactly.
There he is, another unicorn.
Right,
Q is
right.
another unicorn in that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking from my experience, yeah. No, I don't know how to cook too well. So,
She gotta hold
So
it
she
down.
gotta know how to cook
She gotta
because
know
that's
how
your
to
balance.
cook. Yeah,
Again, it's
absolutely.
about balance. It's unbalanced because you can't cook. She need to be able to cook, or you're gonna be eating ramen noodles.
Facts.
She gotta
Right.
be able to cook. Another one. I don't know. Maybe bad hair.
Okay.
If we
So
go
how-
to the physical side
To
of
the
things.
physical
Yeah,
side of it.
for sure.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always say the physical side is the price of admission.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things because if you can't
Huge.
take care of yourself, you can't take care of me.
It's
Come on.
woo.
Come on.
If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of me.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it has little to do with how you look. It's about the drive to want to make yourself the best that you can possibly be.
Come
Yeah.
on.
And that doesn't mean not every woman needs to put makeup on and do all
Right.
this other stuff. Because if you can take care of yourself and you don't need to do all that,
Just being your feminine.
Man.
Yes.
Like
Exactly.
whatever that means,
Yeah.
like just be
Exactly.
feminine. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't
just
need a full
smell
beat
good.
face.
Yeah. Like you don't got a full face. You ain't
Right.
gotta do the whole makeup. Like
Right.
you ain't gotta do all that.
because if I was dating now, I would take her over here so they can jump in the pool in the
Facts.
backyard.
Facts.
Right.
That's the test. Like let's see what you do when you jump in the pool. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what them lashes like when they
Exactly.
wet.
But
Exactly.
it's the price of
Exactly.
admission, but it's not gonna keep you in the game. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Because you can get in here and you can be right on out the back gate because you look good doesn't mean that you are good.
Yeah.
Now sometimes you get lucky.
Right.
Sometimes you get lucky. You
Yeah.
find that woman that's beautiful
And
she got other thing.
Oh,
That's
my
when you don't miss
goodness.
out. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Hey, when I found my wife, I was talking to my bro like, yo, man, hey. He's like, man, you need to marry her like early on, and I'm like,
Early.
I'm like,
What we waiting
yeah,
on?
I do need to marry her. You know,
Yeah.
and I have my own time frames and everything, but it after like 3 months in my head, I was like, yo, this is who I'm gonna be with.
Yeah.
I knew it right then, even though it took me a year and a half, to propose and all that stuff. It was already decided a long time ago,
Right.
you know, because she was my balance,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I didn't let my stupidity
Come on.
keep me from seeing my balance.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
right person was right in front of me, and I said, you know what, this is the right person for me, so I'm
Facts.
going to pull this trigger.
Yeah.
Because I was never just like, oh, I got to get married. But I was like, yo, I can't not marry this woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one of those things.
And
I was going to get in my own way.
And what
if
you
I
realize, and this is shout out to my boy Drizzy. Drake talks about it all the time. He's got a bar, and he said all the good girls are gone. Because he talks about being young. Obviously, he living a different life.
Right.
A different life. Much
Different, little different. Just a little different.
Different life.
But like, you know what I'm saying? He was at that level where he was having a lot of fun. You know, he was out here.
Right.
And now he's in his 30s, and he's like, yo, all the good chicks, they married already.
Right.
Because those chicks that you talking about, Gab won't stay on the market long.
No.
T would not be on the market long.
No, sir.
My wife would not be on the market long.
Right.
Not at all.
It ain't no doubt about it that like, yo, this chick is not gonna be on the market long.
No, absolutely.
Because they desire to devour what comes in. They literally desire to be a helpmate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They like,
Absolutely.
yo, I don't want to be out here like this. I don't want to be like, I got my own this. I'm independent. I don't need a man. Like, that's not how they moving.
Yo, my wife was making dough. I was really questioning my career path when I seen how much she was making, and she like, yo, I want to be at home with the kids.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I need to be making this. So I'm like in my head, like, yo, I got to make what she making plus what I'm making plus what I'm gonna think I'm gonna be making. You know what I mean? Because
We got to pull all this together.
I need to figure
it
all
out.
this together because I mean, she's making dough doing what she's doing, and I'm like, she's like, yo, I want to be at home with the kids. I'm like, yo, I want
She
you
won't
to be
worry
out,
about the resources.
I want you to be at home with the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what's gonna make our house complete. You know what I mean? And you might not. Some people might not think about it and like, oh yeah, no, she need to keep doing what she's doing because she need to, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not my goal. I don't need you to do that.
Yeah. Man, so listen, we over an hour.
Bro,
Right.
in this
I
thing.
mean, you know, I was looking at the timeline and I was like, but it was going so good.
Right.
And it was actually like heading towards a direction that was going to get even better. But you know what? You're right, man. We got to wrap this up. Man, talking about like keeping your inner circle. This is the Holla Black podcast where we focus on brave leaders accountable to communicating knowledge. This is your favorite host and MC, Ronnel Blackman. And man, these fellas right here,
Yo.
Quenton, Daniel Owens, QDO, bro.
QDO.
Not all three names.
The Red Rock. Hey, I'm just saying that hands down, bro. Hey, like Justin, like let's wrap it up and let's talk about like clean up, finish up, and summarize like your circles.
Yeah.
Summarize it with one or few words. Circles.
Be cognizant of who's in your circle. Don't let who needs not to be in your circle be in your circle because they will keep the person that needs to be in your circle out your circle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a bar.
Man, you keep dropping the mic.
Yeah, this
man.
about
I
his
need
fourth
you to-
bar.
I got to keep up with Justin and
That's
Ronnel
right.
and Ryan over there. Shit. I'll be shooting.
It's all good. Hey, Ryan, go ahead. You good?
Pour into your circle, but also make sure that they're pouring in as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make sure that you're being an asset, but also, you know, making sure that they're being an asset as well. You know, we all going somewhere. We all got, you know, similar visions.
Right.
You know what I mean? But keep those type of people around you.
I love it. Justin, you.
Man,
Circle.
Yeah, I think circle is going to be the thing that gets you to the next level. And you will go as far as your team.
There you go.
Your dream don't matter.
Right.
Your team matters.
Absolutely.
Man.
And so as you look at your circle, if you're not where you want to be, it's probably because you got the wrong team.
Right.
You love them.
Right.
You care for them.
Right.
You'll do whatever for them. But it might not be the right team to get you to that next level.
Where was MJ without Pippen?
Bruh, nowhere. He was Reggie Miller. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
He was close.
he was Charles Barkley.
Right.
He was
Without
close, but
And so like I just want to, you know, encourage everybody out there, man, to continually vet your team.
Yes.
And continually vet the people that are in your circle.
yes.
Your spousal selection is number one. One of the most important selections you're going to make. outside of that, you got to make sure that you're keeping people that you're building a mastermind and not a mentorship.
Right.
If you build a mentorship, go get a bag. Go charge for that.
Right.
But your mastermind, these got to be people that like literally help you take that next step. And so when it comes to being the best version of yourself, it comes down to the circle and it comes down to the team that you build. And so I just want to push you all to continue to vet, look at the people that you're building. No sports team are going to look at their team year over year if they didn't win and not try to make adjustments.
Right.
If you ain't win that championship, we might have to move some pieces around.
Absolutely.
Even when you win the
Even when you
championship,
win, you know that you're
gotta
now a
move
target.
Regardless
still
of what
gotta
you
move
feel
some pieces.
personally for those people in that
Regardless
team.
of what you feel, we got to go to the
gotta
executive
keep-
office.
Yeah.
And we got to figure this out again.
we got to keep moving.
We got to keep moving. Got to keep
forward.
getting better.
Right.
And so keep getting better, keep leveling up, and keep doing the things that's necessary to make the pivots in your relationships, to make the pivots in your circle, and really take your life to the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And lastly, I would just say, be a value add.
Absolutely.
Right? Whenever investing, you got to look at what's the added value. Like, what is the opportunity for growth? What is the opportunity for development? Like, how can I add value? How can I invest to add value?
What's your ROI?
Yeah.
What's my ROI, right? And that's on a personal level or a professional level, right? Like, am I adding to the group or am I just taking? Right? Am I adding to the relationship or am I just taking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? When we talk about circles, we need to be adding value. And the people in your circle should be adding value. So man, hey, let's just wrap it up right there, man, because I know Mello got to run, Ryan got to run, and straight out to LA. No, just like, no, we got that Peachtree Road Race coming up. So hey, continue to enjoy, continue to like, subscribe, to comment, and just let us know, how you like the podcast.
Right.
Holla Black Podcast, Pivot Mindset Podcast.
Yo.
We're here having some fun, celebrating on the tail end of my birthday celebration, turned 40. Ooh.
Big 4-0.
Yes, 4-0.
That 40 water.
Black turns 40. Hey, man, but we're having some fun. So, continue to be the best, be better today than you were yesterday. And holla black.
Holla black.
Holla black, my brother.
Peace.